In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to pleat one of the tiny Wee Care gowns that are made as one piece, meaning there's not a seam allowance under the arms. A lot of people have a little bit of a challenge with that because you can't roll it up on a dowel the same way that you would a regular bishop dress, but it's really not that hard. So I have seamed the sleeve with a tiny French seam, and I do have a video on how to create a tiny French seam if that's something new to you. And then I have placed the seams into the body of the fabric with the 1/4 inch seam as indicated on the pattern, and then I zigzagged with a real tiny zigzag stitch to compress it and roll and whip that seam so that it's very small and will fit through the pleater easily. The first thing that you need to do is roll this up on a dowel quite loosely. You don't have to use a dowel. I just feel like that helps manage the fabric a little bit better. And I have cut the dip out of the center front of the body of the dress the way the pattern indicates can be done. So roll this up, and all the perfectionists out there that try to get this perfectly straight are having a coronary right now, but it's really just to manage the fabric. The dowel is not a magic wand, it's just a useful tool. I have my pleater set up with half spaces, and I've aligned the top edge of the fabric with the half space above the first row that I have threaded. And you're just going to turn the handle and allow the dress to come off and get pleated. As I approach the seam, I'm going to tuck that seam right into the pleater groove so that it will go through smoothly. There we go. And you can see that you have to control the fabric. The dowel really doesn't have anything to do with it other than managing the extra fabric on, the opposite side of the pleater. Once again, I've tucked that sleeve seam into the grooves of the pleater. And you just continue pleating. So while this is a little different than pleating a bishop where you can roll the whole thing out flat, you can see that this is not difficult at all. And it's just up to you to keep that top edge of the dress aligned with that groove above the first row that has a threaded needle. And now we're coming close to the next sleeve. Just want to make sure you keep that out of the way and don't get that caught in the pleater until it's time. And here we get to the next sleeve seam. And now we're on the home stretch here. And there you have it. That's how it's done. So if this is something you've been afraid to try, you can see it's not difficult. Give it a try and save yourself that extra seam allowance that doesn't need to be stitched. I think that really makes for a prettier gown, especially if you're going to do a hem treatment that you'd like to be all one piece and unbroken. It's nice to have the skirt fabric unbroken as well with seams in it.